Welcome back. Is weight gain really about self-control? I just finished recording a video, Why Weight Loss Feels Hard in Real Life, link below. Basically, the question was, does anyone else feel like real life is what makes weight loss actually hard? Sometimes you eat what's available, sometimes you're busy, sometimes you just lose motivation. It's a common situation. Check that video out. Someone replied to that. I think people use life as an excuse, but I don't think it makes it inherently hard to manage weight. Our weight is one thing that is basically entirely in our control, unlike most other aspects of our life. It's a common thing that people think, and I understand why people think that. It's just with my experience in nutrition education and health coaching and public health, something that really doesn't sit well with me. So I want to add more context to the picture so people don't feel bad about themselves because what's going on, that idea that, we are in control of our weight completely is the whole basis of like the morality and stigma of, weight and people being overweight and like pretending they're bad people or imagining you're not a good person if you can't lose weight or you just don't have enough willpower or you don't care enough, right? All these come from this idea that our weight is basically entirely within our control. And that's really harmful, extremely. So I want to take time to address this and hopefully stay patient because it's something I feel very passionately about when it comes to understanding the process of weight change. And I want to add that context to you in case you need to hear it or in case you need to extend your education for yourself. Now, I do want to say that some people probably are making excuses or not being fully accountable or taking ownership of their process. However, that's not the business of anyone else. Everyone's health journey is personal to them. And if someone really wants to make an excuse, like it's not your job to call them out on it. Right. And the big thing is it's not helpful to the people who are struggling with scheduling, meal planning, motivation, stress management, any challenges that come up with habit change, weight loss, etc. Saying things like this doesn't help them, right? It's not instructive, it's not supportive, it's just harmful. And if people internalize those messages, they're going to feel bad about themselves and be further away from the changes that they're hoping to make or the changes that you're encouraging or imagining you're helping them to make, right? So we want to be thoughtful about this. What I said is 2026, and we can do much better with the subject overall, with like a public conversation and just how we think about it. And we must absolutely have more compassion and curiosity to understand this process of habit change, how it affects people's everyday life, particularly given like the things we're seeing with weight loss medications. You can tell this isn't just about willpower or being tough enough, motivation, right? There's more to the process than most people think. We got to do better with this. All right. And what I want to do with this video is help you stop blaming and shaming people and yourself in your health journey. I want you to lead a healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams. Let's get into it. If this is your first time here, my name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance. I help you lose weight your way without crash diets or guilt. If you're tired of struggling with the perfect plans, take the free 3-minute Live Aligned scorecard to uncover what's blocking your weight loss and get clear on next steps. That's linked below. Now, when this person said our weight is one thing that's basically entirely in our control, that is just based in not knowing. That's what I said formally. It's miseducation. And there's tons of ways to describe this. It's just like misinformed, bad luck. It's you got to read more. Like that's not correct and inappropriate to say. It's not true. It's not just that. And it suggests that people who have fat are choosing to be fat. Not right. Right. So I reviewed this chart in the other video. I want to bring it up again. This is about the prevalence of obesity over time between 1960s and up to 2018. You see that obesity rate skyrocketed in 1976. So what we want to do is look at some of the policies, systems, and environments that changed during that time that can contribute to weight gain. It's not just the idea that people got bad at making choices or stopped caring about their weight, right? A lot of this is due to driving more, fast food dinners, policy changes. The interstate system got popular between 1956 and 1976, right? So people were driving more, moving out to the suburbs, longer commutes, all that stuff, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on in the environment that's contributing to weight gain. It's not just up to personal choice, right? Your health is influenced by your choices, but it's also shaped by your genetics and environment. This is a common thing I talked about in my former role in public health is helping people understand, like, yes, you want to make the best choices you can in your situation, but also these factors play a role, and it can really throw you off if you don't understand it, where you can almost predict the health outcomes by people by where they live and like their zip code. So it's not just like the idea that these people are lazy and these other people really care. It's more about what opportunities are available, maybe some of the systems that are in that. A quick overview: these are called social determinants of health. You can find this in like any public health kind of resource, or you can search it. Education, access, and quality, healthcare and quality, neighborhood and built environment, like the design of walkability, how the environment is set up, social and community context, and economic stability, right? Are the foods accessible and affordable? Can, like, for whatever people are getting paid in that area. So like all of these things are factors in the environment that influences the choices that people make. So it's not just up the choice unless you feel like you can control all of these, right? And you can't. Like statistically, this is why people run into challenges with their health, these social determinants of health. And these are challenging to overcome. This is the role of health departments, helping people determine these situations in their community. And I think it is valuable to consider these when it comes to your personal health, right? Maybe if you are able to move somewhere differently, then do that, or just be mindful of how these things affect your choices, because they're a big part of it, right? It's not just like being tough or your own mindset and motivation, right? What I want to say here is you don't choose the food environment you grew up in, how your body responds to hunger, your schedule, stress, or access to resources, but all these things influence your results. So you want to think about this in context and not just hold yourself, like, you want to hold yourself accountable to your choices without that being the only factor. Do your best in your situation, right? So something to keep in mind, because you can influence these things and you can create a strong plan around them, but you can't necessarily control them. To believe you can control everything around you is just unrealistic. It doesn't make sense to think about that. And that's something I kind of got into after all the years and all the people that you've met that, in a variety of circumstances, with their own challenges, their own priorities, even, right? Their lifestyles, where they grew up, and with the recent impact of health, weight loss, medications, it's time to think critically and like do more reading on the topic instead of just imagining that we are in control of everything. We have to understand the environment and how it can impact our health outcomes. I had another case here talking about from August 2021 to 2023, the prevalence of obesity in adults was 40.3%. And in 2023, healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss industry was about a $1.09 trillion industry, and the whole wellness industry is worth $6.3 trillion. So studies are linked below. That really goes to highlight that, like, it's not just people making choices. There's a lot going into it that are influencing obesity rates, and the people are investing in making a difference, right? It's not like, to think it's just a choice means like you should make the choice to invest more in your health because these people are doing it, right? It's not the case. There's more to it. We got to think better. We got to think more thoroughly so we can stop blaming ourselves and other people. And that's my main call to action. Please have more compassion, to be thoughtful with what you're saying about others and yourself, and especially focus on leading the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams. So if you're not really helping people with what you're saying, then just be mindful of that. Be more supportive. Now, if you're wondering, how do I work with my body and my life and in my environment to get the results I want? That's what the Live Aligned scorecard gets you on track to do. That's linked below. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is something I get into. Hopefully that message was clear enough and more compassionate, or compassionate enough for you to understand what I'm trying to express to you. Then next, I cover this a little bit in my video, Oprah's weight loss special, where she was talking about the health environment, and I got into the context that are affecting our health choices. I'll put the link to that video right there. As always, keep practicing. Peace.